I love making soap. I love it. If you guys are interested in seeing some cold processed soap being made out in my shop today, then keep watching. What is up, guys? I'm Malena and welcome to my shop. It is a little bit of a disaster, but we're gonna go ahead and just make more of a mess. So today we are going to make, I don't know, I'm trying to decide. I did send out a story asking you guys what would you prefer, what type of video you guys would like to see as far as fragrances go. So the first one was the orange dreamsicle, the second one was chocolate cake, and then the third one was the lemon cake. So I think if I have enough time today, I may end up making all three. If we have time today, we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll probably end up just shooting one video today and show you guys the whole process of making cold processed soap. If you guys are new, welcome to my channel. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you like this video and also hit that bell so that way you guys get notified on next videos. So if you guys are interested in seeing this type of stuff, then let's get to it. First thing I'd like to do is make my embeds ahead of time. So I'm taking this 3 butter melt and pour soap, and I'm adding this colorant, which is a brown from TKB Trading, and then also add my fragrance oil. So this is from Wholesale Supplies Plus in hot cocoa. Okay, so I don't need much fragrance oil since I have such a small batch. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up, and I will probably add a little more color. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add some more color until I get the desired chocolate that I'm looking for. What you're gonna do is let those sit for a few minutes, and after they've hardened, go ahead and remove those from the mold. And then go ahead and set them aside. Next, I'm gonna take this alcohol and I'm gonna spray the area. This just keeps it from sticking to the table. Now what you're going to want to do is go ahead and cut several really thin strips. And then you're just going to go ahead and start making your curls. Now it's time to start on our cold processed soap. So here I've got Essential Depots. This is the sodium hydroxide measured out. This here is also our oils and our butters that are measured out. Remember, safety first. Always make sure you protect your eyes and also your hands. This is a new method that I tried. Usually I heat all my oils up in the microwave and I let my lye just kind of cool as normal to room temperature. But this time I added my lye directly into my oils and it took a long time to melt. Okay, so it is just about, I think we're about 20 hours after this soap has been made. So I'm letting it sit just a little bit longer, but normally the standard for soap making, usually you just let it sit for about 18 hours. So that way they completely harden during that time. So before you pull them out of the mold, you don't want them to be soft. So anyway, what we're gonna do is go ahead and take these out. And what's nice about this mold, I did pick this up at, I believe this was at Nutri Soaps, and I'll list all the information as to where I got all of my products in the description below. So anyway, what's nice about this is, okay, how are you gonna get this mold inside of here, the rubber mold out? Well, they've got holes in the bottom of these, which makes it nice so you can push the soap through. So there you go, got that out. That wasn't as hard. Now, the hard part really is trying to get it out of this mold. So we're gonna go ahead and slowly start pulling it away from the soap. And by the way, this chocolate cake smells amazing. It smells so good. You guys are going to be tempted to eat it. Like I said, this is the fun part, trying to get this out of the mold. Normally what I like to do is just pull it completely like that, turn it upside down, and I just kind of push on the bottom of it. So here's what it looks like now that it's out of the mold. It was a little bit of a struggle, but anyway, we got it out, and so now it's time to go ahead and start cutting this soap. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I cut it between each chocolate piece and chocolate curl, so that way each bar of soap has its own piece of chocolate on there. But anyway, I'm going to cut this, and I can't wait. This is the best part, you guys. This is the part that I really enjoy doing. I love to see how the soap looks on the inside. So as you can tell, there's the dark layer and then there's the light creamy layer. So each day this soap will probably get a little bit more darker because of the vanilla that is in the fragrance oil. Right here I have got a soap cutter. I've had this thing for several years. I did just recently break one of the strings. So you do have to change these out from time to time. So like I said, one popped just a few weeks ago. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and line this up, and I've got it exactly lined up to where the wire will fall in between each piece of chocolate. So what I'm gonna do is take my little soap cutter, and I just make sure everything's all lined up, make sure it's up nicely tight up against this. Now the only thing is, when you're making such a tall bar of soap, I'm afraid that this is going to, the top part, this here is going to hit the side of the soap, but really there's no other way I can do this unless I want to hand cut each one, and then when you're doing that, you're not going to get a precise bar. Everyone's going to be a different size. So with this cutter, I'm just going to take the chance and hope that it doesn't pull any of my little chocolate shavings off. Now that we've got it all lined up, I'm going to go ahead and make sure one more time, because once you do it, there's no going back. And you gotta put a little bit of strength into it. So like I said, it did end up cutting some of the edge of the soap, which that's okay. So this is what the bar looks like, and like I said, these layers are going to change colors within the next day or so. And then this is what the bar of soap looks like. Now, it did, like I said, take some of this side off, which I can kind of clean that up here in a little bit, and I'll show you guys how I clean these bars up. Now, after a few days, I would say after a few weeks, what's going to happen is, right now the bar is a pretty heavy size soap. I can go ahead and weigh that out and tell you how much it is now. It will lose a few ounces once these bars go through the curing stage. Okay, so the next step is I'd like to go ahead and clean this bar of soap up just a little bit. So like the edges, if you can tell, these edges are a little bit rough, and so I like to clean them up. And you can use a bevel, or this here has worked for me for many years, but like I said, there's bevels out there that you can buy. Makes it a lot easier. I'm gonna go ahead and just take that, and I'll show you guys how I do that, but I just go and swipe each side. And the soap is pretty soft, still pretty soft, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to stamp it just yet, but I go ahead and do the edges, I do the bottoms and the sides, and then with this top, I may just kind of scrape it a little bit just to clean that up. Okay, after I've cleaned all my soaps up, I love using my little stamp. And I picked this stamp up on Etsy. I will leave the link where I got this stamp. But it's worked for, I don't know how many years. I think I've had this thing for maybe 7, 8 years maybe. Normally I like to stamp my soaps maybe the day after I cut them, just so they harden up a little bit more, because when you stamp it, the soap is still pretty soft and it gets stuck in all these like little tiny grooves here in the stamps. I'm gonna try it and just show you guys what it looks like. And there you go, just like that. Like I said, they are still pretty soft, so you can tell in there right where the soap kind of got stuck in there. I would just definitely recommend waiting till the next day. But it did turn out pretty cool. But you can tell, see, since they're still pretty soft, how it pulled some of it out. A lot of times I like to, I'll put a little bit of alcohol on there. And sometimes the alcohol helps to release the stamp from the soap. So we'll try it and see if it helps. And it did. There you go. And there you have it.